All right, so we're diving into A Court of Wings and Ruin.
Sounds good.
And you shared some pretty intense excerpts.
Yeah.
And I have to say, this world of Prythian is intense.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much going on. Betrayal, power struggles.
Yeah.
And then we have Feyre, right in the thick of it.
Right.
Not only trying to survive, but trying to shape the world.
Mm-hmm.
Before we get too far, I just want to mention to our listeners,
Sure.
just as a reminder, we're only working for the excerpts you provided.
Right.
So there might be some stuff that's not covered.
That's true.
But with that said, where do you want to jump in?
Well, I think Feyre's escape from the Spring Court is a great place to start.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's a pivotal moment, isn't it?
Yeah.
She breaks free from Tamlin's control.
Right.
It's not just about leaving a bad relationship. It's about claiming her own agency.
That's such a good point. It's like she's stepping out of a gilded cage.
Exactly.
Into the unknown. Which really makes you think about her journey. All those treacherous terrains.
Right.
The hostile encounters.
Yeah.
Like that close call with the Autumn Court.
Yeah, that was a close one.
I mean, what does that tell us about her evolution?
Well, I think it shows her resilience, her ability to adapt and survive.
Absolutely.
She's not just relying on others for protection.
Yeah.
She's tapping into her own strength.
She's resourceful.
Exactly.
She's cunning. I mean, she's really becoming someone to be reckoned with.
She is. She's a force.
While also trying to navigate this crazy political landscape.
Oh, yeah.
With all these different courts and high lords.
7 courts.
7 courts.
7 high lords. And they're all vying for power.
Yeah, it's like one wrong move and the whole thing explodes.
It's a powder keg for sure.
It really is.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that whole situation?
Well, the excerpts really emphasize how fragile these alliances are.
Oh, yeah.
You've got ancient grudges.
Right.
Simmering power struggles.
Yeah.
It's all about maintaining a balance.
The very delicate balance.
Very delicate.
And then you have the King of Hybern.
Oh, yeah. He's a whole other level of threat.
He really is. He's got the cauldron.
Right.
Which can literally reshape reality.
That's what makes him so dangerous.
That's what I find so fascinating. What do you think about the cauldron's significance?
Well, to me, it represents ultimate power.
Right.
The ability to create and destroy.
It's not just about conquering Prythian. It's bigger than that.
Exactly. It's about controlling the fabric of existence.
And then you have Jurian.
Oh, Jurian. He's an interesting character.
He is. He's this resurrected human commander.
Brought back by the cauldron.
Right. And you never quite know where his loyalties lie.
He's a wild card.
He really is. I mean, what do you think his allegiances are?
It's hard to say. He's driven by vengeance.
Oh, for sure.
He's got this connection to Amarantha.
Yeah.
A cruel ruler from Prythian's past.
Right.
And now he's tangled up with Hybern.
Yeah. It adds this whole other layer of tension.
It does.
To an already explosive situation.
Yeah.
And right in the middle of all this,
Yeah.
Feyre discovers she has these hidden powers.
Shape-shifting.
Yeah. Powerful magic.
Amazing.
It's incredible. She's not just a pawn in all of this.
Right.
She's a player with so much potential.
It's a turning point in the story.
Yeah. What do you think about this development?
Well, I think it shows her coming into her own.
Yeah.
Embracing a strength she never knew she had.
Right.
It sets her apart.
It really does. She's not just instantly all-powerful, though.
No, of course not.
She has to train.
Right. Rigorously.
With the Illyrian warriors.
Some of the fiercest warriors in Prythian.
Yeah, and pushing yourself to her limits.
Yeah.
What does that tell us about power?
Well, it shows that true power isn't just given.
Right.
It's earned.
Yeah.
Through hard work and dedication.
It's not just about having the ability.
No, it's about honing it.
And being willing to confront your limitations.
Exactly.
So it makes her even more formidable.
Oh, absolutely.
And while she's going through all of this, her relationship with Rysand is changing too.
Yeah, it's definitely evolving.
Yeah. It's complex.
Yeah.
There's mutual respect, shared values,
Right.
even with the tension of their bond. What do you think about their connection?
Well, it's not just a simple romance.
Yeah.
It's built on something much deeper.
Right.
They've faced adversity together.
They have. They've shared so much.
They understand each other.
And that sense of unity extends to the whole Night Court.
It does.
They're rallying allies.
Amren, Morrigan.
Powerful figures in their own right.
They're building a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah. What does that tell us about their leadership?
It shows they believe in the power of unity.
Yeah.
They inspire loyalty and trust. Bringing people together.
Creating a community.
Exactly.
And then out of the blue,
Yeah.
enter the Winged Seraphim Legion.
Led by Draken and Miriam.
Unexpected allies.
Very unexpected.
What do you make of this new alliance?
Well, it adds a whole new layer of complexity.
It does.
They're not just random allies. They have
not.
their own history, their own motivations.
Makes you wonder about their intentions.
It does.
Are they truly altruistic?
Good question.
Or is there something else going on?
We'll have to see.
All these forces are converging, and these battles are intense.
They are brutal.
What stood out to you about them?
The rawness of it all.
Yeah.
The sacrifices made on both sides.
It's a reminder that war is devastating.
It is. Even in a world of magic.
Right.
There's a real cost.
And at the heart of all this is the Ouroboros,
That magical mirror.
the key to defeating Hybern.
But it comes with a price.
Feyre has to face her fears,
Her deepest doubts.
like a classic hero's journey.
It is.
What do you think about this symbolic element?
Well, the Ouroboros represents this cycle
Okay.
of life, death, and rebirth.
Interesting.
Feyre's struggle to unlock its power reflects her own transformation.
So she's not just facing a mirror.
No, she's facing herself.
And then there's the Bone Carver,
The Bone Carver.
imprisoned by the High Lords,
Powerful and enigmatic.
agreeing to help, but at a price.
Always a price.
Yeah. What do you think about his motives?
He's an enigma,
He is.
shrouded in secrecy.
And he wants the Ouroboros.
He does.
Makes you wonder if he's a true ally
It does.
or just playing his own game.
Could be both.
Then there's Amren's sacrifice.
Heartbreaking.
It is. She unleashes her true form,
Wipes out Hybern's army.
but at the cost of her own existence.
The ultimate sacrifice.
What does it tell us about Amren?
It shows her unwavering love for her court.
Yeah.
Her willingness to give everything.
It's a reminder that even in victory, there's loss.
There is a profound loss.
And the impact of her sacrifice will be felt throughout Prythian.
It will, for sure.
I think that's a good place to pause for now.
Yeah, definitely.
There's so much more to unpack,
A lot more to come.
but we'll have to save that for part 2.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive into A Court of Wings and Ruin,
So we're picking up where we left off.
with the war seemingly won.
Right. But it doesn't feel like it's really over, does it?
No, not really.
There's a sense of unease.
Yeah, there's still so much to figure out.
Like, what does peace actually look like
Exactly.
after everything Prythian's been through?
Right, there's a whole new set of challenges.
And the excerpts you shared really show that.
They do. It's almost like they've traded one battlefield for another.
It's like they won the war, but now what?
Right. Now they have to rebuild.
But it's not that simple, is it?
No, it's not. The excerpts show us that there are still deep divisions,
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
even among the High Lords.
Like Baron, the High Lord of Autumn.
Oh, he's a piece of work.
He is. His attitude towards the humans is just
He's
awful.
terrible.
It's like all that talk of unity during the war just vanished.
Yeah, it's a reminder that prejudice doesn't disappear overnight.
No, it doesn't. It's chilling.
Yeah.
What did you think about how the other High Lords reacted to him?
Well, even those who seemed sympathetic to the humans,
Yeah,
they hesitated.
they did.
Like they were afraid to fully commit.
Right. They have their own courts to worry about.
Exactly. It's a delicate balancing act.
Trying to do what's right while also protecting their own interests.
Exactly.
And in all of this, Feyre's trying to figure out her role as High Lady.
Right. It's a whole new set of challenges for her.
Yeah. It's not just about wielding power,
It's about responsibility,
leadership.
trying to make a difference.
But the world doesn't change easily.
No, it doesn't.
And she's not afraid to confront those who stand in her way.
She's definitely not.
Like going back to face Tamlin.
Oh, that was a powerful moment.
It was. After everything he did to her,
She could have just ignored him.
she could have. But she didn't.
She demanded accountability.
She did. She drew a line in the sand.
It was a declaration of independence.
It really was. And speaking of bold moves, what about her decision to reveal her powers to the other High Lords?
That was risky.
It was. Why do you think she did it?
I think she realized something.
What's that?
That transparency can be a weapon.
Interesting.
She's challenging the old ways of doing things.
She's demanding to be seen as an equal.
Exactly.
And it seems to work.
It does. Even the skeptical ones are impressed.
They have to acknowledge her as a leader.
They do. She's earned their respect.
So even in a world steeped in tradition, things can change.
They can.
But even with everyone on board,
Right.
defeating Hybern isn't going to be easy.
No, it won't. Especially since his forces are still out there.
Yeah. And they're not just going to surrender.
No, they're not.
What did you think about the strategies they're trying to develop?
Well, it's interesting because they have to move beyond brute force.
They do. It's not just about armies clashing anymore.
Right. They need intelligence. They need to be strategic.
Because Hybern's been playing a different game,
He has. Exploiting weaknesses in the wall.
using the cauldron.
To create tears. To let his forces slip through.
It's almost like the battle lines have become blurred,
They have. It's a different kind of fight now.
more insidious.
Yeah. More unpredictable.
And that's where someone like the Bone Carver comes in.
Oh, he's a key player for sure.
He is. He knows so much about the wall.
And the magic that binds it.
But getting him to cooperate,
That's the tricky part.
it feels dangerous.
He is a master manipulator. Remember what he wants.
The Ouroboros.
Right. That mirror is incredibly powerful.
And dangerous.
Exactly.
So what do you think his ultimate goal is?
It's hard to say, but it can't be good.
And amidst all of this, Feyre's having these nightmares.
About her time as Amarantha's prisoner?
Yeah. Because like even though she won the war,
Mm-hmm.
she's still fighting her own internal battle.
It's a reminder that trauma doesn't just disappear.
It doesn't. What do you think these nightmares mean?
Well, on one level, they're clearly a sign of her PTSD.
Right.
But I also think there's something else.
What?
Clues.
Clues?
I think Hybern's trying to use them against her.
You think he's behind them?
I do. I think he's trying to exploit her trauma.
To weaken her?
Exactly. It's psychological warfare.
It's a new level of cruelty.
It is. But it shows that he's still a threat.
Even in defeat.
Right.
And through all of this, Feyre and Rysand's relationship is being tested.
It is. It's strained.
What stood out to you about how their bond is portrayed?
Well, we see tension, disagreements.
Yeah. They don't always see eye to eye.
No, they don't. But there's also this deep love.
A connection that runs deeper than their disagreements.
Exactly.
Like when Rysand tries to make that deal with the Bone Carver.
The one that would put Feyre at risk.
Yeah. And she shuts it down immediately.
She does.
She's not going to be anyone's pawn.
No, she's not.
Not even for the greater good.
It shows how much they respect each other.
Yeah. They're partners in this,
They are.
but there are still secrets between them.
Rysand keeps things from her.
Even though he claims it's for her own protection,
Right.
it creates this distance between them.
It does. And it's worrisome.
It really is. Because honesty and trust are so important.
Especially in a relationship like theirs.
So as we head into the final part of these excerpts,
Mm-hmm.
what are your thoughts?
Well, the stakes are incredibly high.
They are. Hybern's forces are still out there.
And the Bone Carver's motives are a mystery.
Plus, Feyre's battling her own demons.
It's a lot.
It is. It feels like everything's coming to a head.
It does. And the choices they make now,
Yeah,
they'll have a huge impact on the future of Prythian.
because winning the war is one thing, but securing a lasting peace.
That's the real challenge.
We're back and ready to finish our deep dive into A Court of Wings and Ruin.
And things are really heating up.
Yeah, these last excerpts are nonstop action. Like, it's the final showdown.
It really is. It feels like the fate of Prythian is hanging in the balance.
It does. So what are we looking at as we head into this final confrontation?
Well, Hybern's forces are closing in on the human lands. He's ready for revenge.
Oh, he's definitely out for blood.
Yeah.
Especially against Feyre and her sisters.
Right. It's personal for him. He wants to make them suffer.
Yeah, and he's not just powerful.
No. He's ruthless. And he's driven by this need for retribution.
It makes him a terrifying enemy. I mean, how do you even fight that?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
And Feyre has to make some tough choices.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It's not just about strategy at this point.
No. It's about leadership.
Mm.
About being willing to make sacrifices.
About making decisions that could cost lives. How does she handle all that pressure?
It's amazing to see her step into her power.
Yeah,
She fully embraces her role as High Lady.
she does. There's no hesitation. No fear.
Right. She's determined to protect her people.
And she doesn't try to do it alone.
No, she doesn't. Everyone rallies around her.
Yeah, it's pretty inspiring.
It is. It shows the kind of leader she's become.
Yeah, she inspires loyalty and trust.
Right. And she trusts them in return. She knows she can't do this alone.
That's right. It really shows the power of unity, of collective action.
Exactly. Feyre relies on her court, her family, her mate. Everyone plays a part.
Yeah, they all come together to fight Hybern, and even those who were reluctant at first,
Yeah.
like Nesta.
Oh, Nesta's transformation is incredible.
It is. She goes from this isolated figure to a vital part of the war effort.
Right. It's a reminder that people can change. That even those who resist can surprise us.
Yeah, and her powers are pretty amazing. Her intuition, her connection to the cauldron.
It all comes into play. And it highlights how important different perspectives are.
Right, like you need all these different abilities to face a threat like Hybern.
Exactly. And then there's Elaine.
Oh, Elaine, she's been through so much.
She has. And her new powers, it's like they're both a gift and a curse.
Yeah, but in these excerpts, we see her using them for good.
Yeah. She uses her compassion to sway the human armies.
Yeah, she helps them see why they should join the fight.
She understands the human world.
She does. And she appeals to their sense of justice.
It's a crucial turning point.
It is. It shows that empathy can be a powerful weapon.
Absolutely. Sometimes kindness is more effective than force.
Right. It's about building bridges.
Yeah.
Finding common ground. So they've got this amazing team.
Right. They have a plan. They're working together.
But they're still up against a massive army and a king with a cauldron.
Yeah. The odds are still stacked against them.
They are. So what stood out to you about these final battles?
Well, the excerpts do a great job of capturing the intensity of it all.
Yeah, it's brutal.
But there's also a beauty to it.
There is. It's like even in the midst of all this darkness, there's light.
Right. There are devastating losses, sacrifices, but also moments of incredible heroism.
Yeah, like the death of the Suriel.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
It was. The Suriel had been such a guide for Feyre.
A source of wisdom and knowledge.
And their loss is a reminder that some wounds never fully heal.
That even in a world of magic, there's still pain and loss.
Right. And then, of course, there's Amren.
Her sacrifice. Unbelievable.
It is. She gives everything to save Prythian.
She unleashes her true form to wipe out Hybern's army.
Yeah, that scene is just... wow. The power, the destruction.
It's both awe-inspiring and heartbreaking.
What do you think her sacrifice represents?
I think it speaks to the power of love, of loyalty.
Yeah.
Amren's love for her court, for her friends. It drives her to do the unthinkable.
Yeah, she knows it'll mean her own end.
But she does it anyway.
Until she believes in a better future.
Right. It's a reminder that even in the darkest moments, there's hope.
And her sacrifice changes everything.
It does. Hybern's army is defeated. The tide turns.
And Feyre delivers the final blow. What did you think about that confrontation?
It was epic. She uses everything she's learned, everything she's become.
Yeah, she doesn't just defeat Hybern with brute force.
No, she uses her connection to the cauldron, her love for Rysand, her understanding of the world.
Yeah, she rewrites the rules. She shows that power can be used for good.
It's a powerful moment.
It is. It shows that love and sacrifice can change the world.
They can.
But it doesn't feel like a completely happy ending.
No, it doesn't, because even though Hybern's gone,
Yeah,
the journey's not over.
that's right. Prythian's a changed world. There's still so much to figure out.
Like, what happens to the cauldron now? How will the courts interact? What challenges will Feyre and Rysand face?
So many questions.
And I think that's what makes the story so compelling.
It doesn't give you all the answers.
No, it doesn't. It leaves you wanting more.
It makes you think and wonder and imagine what might happen next.
Exactly.
So what are your final thoughts for our listeners as they continue to explore this world?
I would say pay attention to the details, the relationships, the way power shifts and changes.
Yeah, those are the things that make this story so rich.
They are. And most importantly, figure out what resonates with you.
Yeah, what speaks to you? What makes you think? What inspires you?
Exactly. Because that's what makes reading so powerful.
Well said. And that's a wrap on our deep dive into A Court of Wings and Ruin.
It's been a journey.
It has. But remember, this is just the beginning. There's a whole world to explore within these pages.
And beyond.
So keep questioning, keep learning, and keep fighting for the stories that matter to you.
Until next time.
Happy reading.